Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Diosa. I am going, this story is like so juicy. Have you ever heard of a juicy story? It's juicy, it's shocking, it's oh my god guys, hold up, let me get a drink. You know, there was a time when you look at your DMs and the DMs are just dry and like it's just crickets, okay? Squeak. Like nothing good is going on in the DMs. And I was so tired of it. So I basically went and did the in thing that everyone was doing at that time. I went on Tinder and I signed up on Tinder. If you haven't been on Tinder, you basically swipe right if you like the person, swipe left if you don't like the person. And this was my dating experience with an Oyimbo. So for you guys that don't know what an Oyimbo is, right, it's a white person. Very hard for me to speak about white people, Indians, like Chinese people, like it's just it sounds a bit off to me in it, but anyways, I'm just gonna say it as it is. Basically, this is a story time about when I had an experience with a white man, okay? And he turned out to be very physicotic and just off his rockers. Like, he was so crazy. And you guys will not believe it. Like, it's a mad story. Where my phone at? I must have went Tinder like, nope. Yep. Left. Right. No. Ooh, like... I wouldn't mind a bit of a snowflake. I had to dip my right foot with the snowflake and I basically swiped right. Like, I never killed nobody. Yeah, I met Steve on Tinder and basically I swiped right, and then if you swipe right with the same person, now they're now able to send you messages. So yeah, he kept messaging me, guys, and messaging me, and then I basically just didn't respond, and then he kept messaging me and basically I did not respond. Clearly Tinder must have been hot that week or that month, because no. So, no, I just didn't respond for some reason. I don't know why. Anyways, and then one day, I suppose I must be going through my messages, so I decided, okay, let me just respond. Plus, the snowflake was hot, okay? He was hot AF, so I was like, why not? So I responded to this message now, guys, and we started speaking. The conversation was very good. He was very nice. He was a little bit older, and he had his own company and he worked for himself, no kids. Anyways, he asked me out on a date, and then we went out on a few dates, and then for some reason I just stopped talking to him again. I have a habit of doing things like that. Like, I would speak to someone and then I would just stop talking to them. He started messaging me on my WhatsApp. So he would like message me and just be like, hey, are you okay? What's going on? I haven't spoken to you in a while. Like, is everything okay? Do you want to go on another date? Blah, blah, blah. So then I thought, okay, why not? So, like I'm always saying, I am all up for people going for free meals. Like, yeah, let's do it. If someone wants to take you out and you're hungry, go for your free meal, innit? Like, it's okay. Don't be shy. So anyways, I was like, another free meal. So why not? Basically ended up meeting up with him again and going on some more dates. Then I stopped talking to him again. I remember one of these dates, guys, he mentioned to me that he only ever likes dating black girls. Now, let me just put it out there, right? I find it weird when black men say that they don't like black girls, or they only ever date white women, or same as a white man telling me that he only ever dates black girls. Like, I don't understand. Like, it's very weird. I find it weird when black girls say they can only ever date a white guy and they don't see themselves as a black guy. Same thing when I see a white man saying that he can only ever date a black woman. What's so like special about a black woman that you can't go out with someone from your own race? Like, why do you have to be so particular, and why do you have to be 100% set on just dating a black woman? Like, I don't think. And most times, like, when people say these things and these things come out of their mouths, I feel like there's like a deep-rooted issue, and you either hate yourself that much or you have a fetish. And I think probably this is one of the things that must have put me off this person, because that must have put me off Steve, because how can you only say I only ever date black women, I don't find white women attractive, I would never ever date a white woman? Like, no, you know, we're not freaking animals. You don't go hunting us down with a spear. Like, so anyway, that must have put me off a little bit. It was one of I think it is very weird, but you know someone says it in passing and then you just forget about it. So now one day I was talking to one of my friends and she asked me about my dating life. So I was telling her like, oh yeah, I've been dating this one Oyimbo, I've been dating Steve and everything is going well, everything's going good, right? So then she was like, who's the man? So, oh, where did you meet? So I'm telling her like, oh yeah, I met him on Tinder and basically he does this, he does that, and yeah, this is what this Murungu does. So we're basically just chatting. And then she was like, rah, wait, does he do this? Is he this? Does he do this? Does he say this? Did he tell you this and did he tell you that? And I was here like, oh, my Schwest. Yes. So basically she went and told me about that this guy is she basically told me to watch out and that he's very much so like very, very psycho and everything is not okay up there, and he becomes very fixated and very, very obsessed and really, really like creepy. And your friend, like if someone warns you of something, like someone that cares about you, if it's your friend and they warn you of someone, ooh, cramp. This snowflake that clearly doesn't want me to be talking about him. That's why I got that pins and needle situation. That was so painful, guys. Anyways, I shall talk about you and about coming here with that white juju. I'm black. Only black juju works. None of that throwing pebbles and stones. Nah, fam. Guys, so I was like, oh, he seems, I was very much so shocked. So I was just like, this is weird. Then I basically felt I felt the need to ask him basically if he knew the person that I was talking about. So I basically asked him like, wait, yo, Mr. Snowflake, Steve, do you or have you ever spoken to so-and-so? And he was like, oh yeah, I spoke to her briefly, and then she basically, well, he admitted to speaking to her, but then she said that she's the one who stopped talking to him and she's the one who cut off all communication, and that she spoke to him for the first time and then it blocked him or whatever, and then for some reason he managed to find her for the second time and then she blocked him and she never really wanted to see him again because his behavior was really becoming creepy. But then I noticed that his behavior was the same with me in some ways. Like when I wasn't chatting, when I decided that I didn't want to speak to him, he would get very, very much so obsessed and he would message me on, like, he secretly added me on Snapchat and I didn't even know that he was on my Snapchat. I remember he messaged me one day sounding very, very, very confused and just, you know, needing someone to speak to meet up with him. And whilst we were on this lunch date, he basically told me that he'd caught himself a case. And I was like, wait, you caught yourself a case? What do you mean? So he basically proceeded to tell me that his ex-girlfriend, who could have been the mother of his child, had gotten him arrested and accused him of rape. As a woman, I don't know how to respond to that. So he went on to explain the whole story for me, which is what I am going to tell you guys next. And so basically, if anything looks different, I filmed this video yesterday and then the camera ran out of battery, so I have had to carry on today, and now we're using a different camera, hence the difference. I'm just gonna carry on from where I left off yesterday, telling you about this psychotic Oyimbo that I met online. So anyways, we went on this date and he started telling me that he'd caught a case. and he basically started to explain how he was in a relationship with another black girl. So he was in a relationship with a black girl, and then she fell pregnant. So when she fell pregnant, she went and told him that she was pregnant, and he wasn't having it. He basically wasn't having it, and then he told her that he wasn't ready for a baby and that she should get rid of it. But she was like, listen, I'm gonna keep my baby with or without you. I'm not going to be like your ex-girlfriend who you convinced to have an abortion. And this was another black girl. So basically they had this argument back and forth, and then she basically she went to live with her mom, and then he later on decided that he wanted to be in this child's life. So these two decided to make a go of things and get back together. These two decided to make a go of things, and they basically got back together and tried to work things out between the both of them. So I think from what I've heard of this story, there's probably a chunk of the story missing that he basically didn't want to tell us, or that he did not want to tell me. So I'm assuming that whilst they were living together, they were basically having domestic violence altercations. So she then ended up moving out of the she basically ended up moving back to her mom's house, and she was no longer living with him. And what had happened was he said that he wanted to be in his child's life, but he no longer wanted to be with her. But she did not understand why he would, now that she's pregnant, he wouldn't want to be in a relationship with her when they were already in a relationship. The only difference now is that she's pregnant. So with her moving back to her mom's house, she basically had a pregnancy scare, and her stomach was hurting, and then he had to drive down. I think the mom lived in Bournemouth, so basically he had to drive down to Bournemouth and go and see her at the hospital. Baby was going to die, or she was going to die alongside with the baby. So unfortunately she had a miscarriage, and the doctors basically let her know that the doctors were suspecting that the miscarriage was because of domestic violence issues, because of the way that she lost the baby. He must obviously had been punching her up. So she basically told him what the doctors had said to her, but she basically didn't say anything. She was just probably covering for him, and she was like, yeah, whatever, like nothing's happening, everything's cool, do you know what I mean? But anyways, after this, he basically whilst we were on the date, he basically let me know that he was quite happy, or the word he used to be exact was he was quite relieved that she lost the baby, in a way, because it was a way of him to start his life all over again without the burden. So after she lost the baby, I'm sure these two basically continued seeing each other, and I'm just gonna say this, guys, if ever a man raises his hands against you, please let somebody know, and do not stay in toxic relationships for the sake of love, or wanting to be loved, or thinking it's love. So they ended up moving back in together, and for some reason it didn't work again, because they were arguing and bickering, and she ended up moving out. Forgot to say that basically when she let him know that she was pregnant, he was already disputing that the baby was his. So she basically went to his, spent the day, spent the night, and then these lot must have had sex, and then the next she had left something at his house, I believe. So the next day she messaged him and basically said to him, oh, can I come to your house to basically pick up blah blah blah. He then basically lied to her that he wasn't home and that he was doing something. Basically knew that the guy was lying, so she went over to the house. Then she saw him at the house. She caught him at the house with another black girl. Guys, I keep putting the emphasis on black girls, because this guy literally moved on from one black woman to another. Like, it was just weird. So yeah, she basically caught him red-handed with another woman, with them doing whatever they were doing. She ended up going irate and going mad and thinking, okay, we've just lost a baby barely a week ago and you're already here, moved on with somebody else, but at the same time we were just together yesterday. And in this case, I agree with her. She basically went mad, picked up what she believed to be his phone, threw it at the wall. She was just going angry, getting mad. He was basically trying to push her out of the house, and the neighbors heard the fight. So they basically told him, okay, listen, you and your girlfriend cannot continue fighting because I've got little kids. And she basically went ahead and called the police. So the police came and they basically asked him if he wanted to press charges against her. He proceeded to say no, he didn't want any charges against her. He basically just wanted her to be removed from his property. So she ended up going to the police station and getting arrested, going to the police station. And whilst she was there, I guess with all the emotions that was going on with her, he claimed that they asked her what was going on, and she then expressed how hurt she was finding him with another woman. Bear in mind they literally just had sexual intercourse, and that she'd lost the baby, and that everything was, you know, just got a bit too much. And he had been you know, he had been hitting her, and they've been in domestic violence situations that she's never reported, and that he had also been having sex with her against her wishes at times and without her consent, basically. And these are very, very serious very serious allegations. Of course, like, hearing this, it raises issues of concern, and the police did take her statement that she made very, very seriously. They went to the house and they basically arrested him, and he was then asked to surrender his phone so that they can look through the messages and basically investigate what's going on. So they went in this guy's phone, guys, and to tell you that the messages that he was sending to her were not particularly very nice. They were very abusive. He had a very sharp tongue, and the police had no option but, of course, to investigate further. So imagine how you go on a date with someone and you're hearing all of this. That's nah. Okay, so I'm now at this point, like, I'm deep in my life, like, Jesus, is that you? Like, what is this? Like, come on now, what's this? This is mad. Obviously, of course, from me being a woman, of course, I'm gonna feel for my fellow woman. Like, I'm not gonna feel sorry for you, especially him making such statements as he was relieved that his unborn child died. Him to open his mouth and say something like that is very, very disturbing. It did not sit well with me at all. And then you tell me that there's this woman accusing you of sexually violating her, and you had been at some point punching her up. Then, like, to me, those are very, very, like, that's not normal. Like, I don't know what people do in their relationships, but to me, I know that that is very, very wrong. Anyways, so he explained all this to me, and he basically was like, I need you to be there for me. I'm thinking, I know you ain't talking to me. Like, I'm clearly not gonna be hanging around with anyone who goes around violating women, hitting women, wishing that his dead child is actually dead. Like, no, like, that's not going to happen. So now, guys, I'm going to give you some receipts. Yes, I've got receipts of what this guy was messaging, and you guys can literally tell me in the comments down below if you think this is normal or not. Because to me, this is just very much so ridiculous. So this guy would basically have moments of outbursts. So like I've said to you, of course, if someone tells me that, I'm going to automatically distance myself from them. I'm not going to keep you close because I don't know what you're capable of. So no, I'm not going to keep you close. So I basically, once again, distance myself, basically thinking like I'm not gonna ever chat to you ever again. That is you, that is it. You are cancelled, you are done. This is just way too much for my life. Like, no. after that conversation, I went home, he went home, and he basically started to message me. So he's literally like, how are you, Han? So when am I seeing you again, X? No reply. And then he puts the emoji with the and then he says, strange how you're always on here but you don't reply. And then I don't reply, and then he messages again, I messaged you and you were online. Like, why are you watching whether I'm online or not? Do you not see that's not okay? Like, you don't go around stalking people basically just fishing to see if they're online or not. Like, that's psychotic behavior. Like, that's not normal. Anyways, so this guy basically carried on messaging me, and then he basically let me know that he said to me, won't have this phone for a while, police are taking it off me tomorrow, so I'll be in touch when I get back up and running. And then no reply. Then he messaged again, this is why we don't work, you don't make any effort when you know I'm going through loads of shit. So I was like, skirt, like, listen, I'm not your mama, I ain't definitely your papa, I didn't give birth to you, so you don't know me, I'm just a stranger, and you have brothers and sisters, and I'm sure you have people that are basically there for you. So you don't get to message me with an attitude, especially if you message all the time and you see that someone is not replying, like, and then you want to message me on some attitude-y, like, on some weird vibe. Like, no. The whole approach to the whole situation and to me was basically rude, and that he can find someone else to pick on is if he's stressed, basically. So please, I beg you, do not take your stresses out on me. If you're stressed about your court case, go and speak to whoever you need to speak to, a counselor, your mom, your dad, your siblings. You don't know me from Adam. I'm just a random black girl. Like, allow me, I'm not interested. And he basically watched my snap, and then he basically, like I said, I would always put up snaps with little quotations or something. So then he came back and he messaged me again, and then he said, so you got a fella, after all the chat I find out about you lot on Snapchat, hey, question, exclamation mark. Like, wait, listen, if someone hasn't claimed you to say that you're their girlfriend or you're their man, do not go around acting like a crazy person and saying, why are you doing this and why are you doing that? Because he basically messaged me again and then said, I love how you always ask how I am and ignore my messages. I don't understand what I have ever done wrong to you that you just ignore me and haven't once asked how I am, and you know I'm going through and still am. You haven't been a good friend to me at all. I've always treated you good. I'm sure you'll come back with some lame excuse about me giving you a hard time, etc. But friends check up on each other, and unless I message you, I never hear from you. We're all busy, and you see how I thought that message had like literally stopped, then I scrolled over to see another one. We're all busy and you just use that as an excuse. And it's sad because I do like you, and I actually thought we were good friends. You never asked once how my case is going, and that upset me, to be honest. I could do with your help and advice. He basically proceeded to ring me and start telling me about myself. And I had to tell this guy about himself that, listen, I wasn't with you shooting in the gym. I wasn't with you helping you punch up this woman. I wasn't helping you sexually abusing this woman. I was not with you shooting in the gym. Number one, I am not your family. You have a mother, you have a dad, you have a sister. There's so many people that you could reach out to for help. Why is it you get in trouble for chasing women online, right? And then you catch a case over that, and for some mad reason you still want to carry on. Like, how does that even make sense? If it was me who caught a case, trust and believe I would never speak to a woman ever again. I'll be there waiting for my case to be over, sat quietly, not finding someone else to be sending abusive messages to. Like, that's not okay. Like, anyway, so I basically told this guy about himself. I told him that he can basically go shove his head up his blood clot, and he can leave me the hell alone, and that I am not his father, I am not his mom, I am not in any way, shape or form related to him. In case he hasn't noticed, I'm black, he's white, and no, you didn't come out of my mom's vagina. and I definitely did not come out of your mom's vagina, so I don't care for you like that. Like, it's never ever going to happen. So he basically told me, after we basically had words, then he told me that I was so far stuck up my own ass, and it is so unreal. I would rather be far stuck up my own ass than talk to someone who is being accused of horrendous crimes. Put yourself in my shoes, right? Let's say if you were the one who basically had met this guy online and all these things about him come up, and this is not somebody that you're dating, by the way. You don't have any emotional, physical connection with this person yet. It is very, very easy for you to basically just cut them off. Like, if I don't have any emotional, physical connection to you, like, if I don't have emotional, physical, spiritual, whatever connection to you, trust and believe that I am going to cut you off. Like, my mom did not give birth to you. I don't care for you like that. The people that I care for the most is my family and my friends. Like, I don't know you from Adam. Head somewhere where the sun does not shine, and you need to basically go stop hunting black girls with a spear online and stop being creepy. And the reason why you caught a case in the first place was because of this behavior. If I continue speaking to someone like that, like, to me, it just shows me that now I need to see somebody, because there's basically something wrong up there, and that's just that. So guys, that was the last, this is the last story to our Storytime week, and I hope you guys enjoyed Storytime week. And you can show me this, guys, by giving me thumbs up, commenting down below, and of course subscribing to this channel and sharing my videos to all your friends or your family. And I appreciate you guys so much, and hopefully our family grows. And thank you so much, and I can't say how much I appreciate you guys. So